you understand?
Hey everybody, I'm Tony Jones, and welcome to the Tony Jones Show.
It's not enough. People are willing to take the risk. It's just sort of a herd mentality, a lemming-like mentality. If you don't go with the flow, you're anti-American and therefore a suspect.
The Tony Jones Show, featuring punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and Providence, Rhode Island's finest, starts right now.
He's a dangerous militia member, I hear. Oh, and there she blows.
Friends, the time for mediocrity and broadcasting is over. My name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to the Tony Jones Show, your destination for talk and rock. With me, as always, is my occasional co-host, Mr. George Garner. George, good evening.
Good evening.
Starting off with a little The Drax, also known as the Goddamn Dracula's 1 and a Million, the name of that track. Of course, Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. On the almighty Twitter, at Tony Jones NRI. And, of course, be sure to go to Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, where close to 10,000 people are now following us over there. So a big thank you to everybody who follows us on social media. And, of course, on Twitter, at Tony Jones NRI. I do monitor the social media accounts throughout the live broadcast. So if you're catching us live, be sure to check in, chat with us. If you have a request, if I can get to it, I'd be happy to get that on the air. Well, George, sitting before you here today are two losers. We attended the Motif Magazine Music Awards on Tuesday night. I did not win. The band did not win, and our own DJ Psycho Eddie did not win. However, it was a pretty fun night. It was, it was very well attended. One of those great free nights out in the city, and
you realize that's the whole excuse to do the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, who really gives a damn about winning the Motif Awards anyway, really?
To your point, most of the people nominated, because most of the people who won weren't there to accept their awards. Very few people actually made it up to the stage. So
what did they do?
They just either put it back on the shelf, or, maybe sometimes there would be somebody to take their place and accept on their behalf. But I would have to say, what would you say, Eddie? Probably about 60% of the people weren't there, which makes the award show move along
quicker,
because there's none of these drawn-out acceptance
you get
speeches.
To eat and get out.
Right, yeah.
I think the longest acceptance speech was because of the laughter, saying, well, I'm not him, but ha, 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 I got his award anyways. Other than that, most of the people, thanks for the award, thanks for everyone listening, and they got the hell off, got their picture, and they were out the door.
There's nothing worse than when someone gets on there and they're thinking, I'm probably one of the more grateful guys around here, but there's nothing worse than when someone gets up there and thanks everybody they've ever met.
Yeah, well, they're rehearsing for either the Oscars or the presidential nomination. They're rehearsing for something else in their own minds.
They're rehearsing
basically
for when they switch out their Motif Music Award for a Grammy.
Yeah, basically, as Clint Eastwood said in, I forget what movie it was, you're a legend in your own mind.
And then a very busy weekend. 1 week ago this evening on Sunday night, we played a barn burner of a show at Firehouse 13 with Michael Graves. We saw the debut of Wolfman Chuck and the Brimstone Boys. I and our guitar player Sean Leary still have fake blood on our shoes from that very show. You got to see Wolfman, right? And then you kind of had to split after our set.
Yeah, I had to go maintain disorder on my third shift, but I'm hesitant to put my jeans through the wash because I'm not sure if that stage blood is going to come out. So I don't know. So I'm just leaving. Maybe I'm thinking about leaving it there as just a badge of honor.
Now,
blood from the first Wolfman Chuck show.
The fact that people showed up to a Wolfman Chuck Michael Graves show and were upset that they got fake blood on them. It's like going to a Gallagher show and then leaving covered in watermelon and saying, there were some upset people there.
There were. I don't know. It's kind of, things are deteriorating. Put it this way, Donald Trump is not a presidential nominee for no reason. I mean, back in my day, and I'm not that old, just a little older. I mean, I remember when you used to go to a show, and back then we called them rock shows. We didn't, there was no distinction between alternative rock, heavy metal, and this, that, the other thing. When you went to a show, A, you stood up. B, you stood as close to the stage as possible. And it was a badge of honor to be spit on, bled on, fallen on, sprained something. Yeah, it's just, As Lou Reed says in that song, those were different times.
And the quote of the night for me came from our own good friend Lisa Gorley, because, she has some fairly expensive camera equipment on her. So I kind of led her into the loop. I said, Lisa, you might want to be careful. You're in the splash zone.
Right.
There's going to be some fake blood tonight, thinking she wants to protect her camera equipment. And her response was, I want real blood.
Somehow I knew
Now,
that
that's
would
a
be
rock
her
show.
response. Yeah. I'll never forget the time that we were on stage and Lisa was in front, taking pictures as always. And this is when we had Joey the Butcher in the band.
Yep.
And now Joey claimed to have seen everything, either back in the day or more recently. But Lisa stood in front of him, pulled down her top, slashed herself to ribbons. And, I knew when she did that because Joey missed the chord.
Yeah.
I heard a wang.
And he turned pale white at that point.
You remember it well.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, that wasn't the only time she's done that.
For us, you mean?
For you guys, I know once on the chest, and I was actually a party to watching her do her arms and her upper chest area.
Uh-huh.
I believe the song was Chinese Democracy or something like that when you guys were playing.
Oh, Chinese rock.
Chinese rock.
Chinese rock.
I don't know your set list as well as you do. I'm sorry. It was Chinese. I had Chinese for lunch.
You can have credit.
No, we've been blessed with human blood, I would say, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't encourage her to do it because I like having the woman around.
Right.
And,
Well, oddly enough, being not on stage while this happens, I can sit back and I actually follow her around, and I learned that she keeps her boyfriend in the trunk. By boyfriend, I mean a bottle of Jim Beam.
Right.
So she already has it down to a science where she gets herself a little bit intoxicated with the Jim Beam.
Comfortable.
And then the alcohol in her system helps her to bleed better.
right, it thins the blood, right.
To
Wow.
put on a better show.
Right, that's what, most bleeders do. Yeah.
Much like the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and maybe Ric Flair. So that dovetails perfectly into something I want to talk to you all about
That dovetails
in a
perfectly
bit.
into something?
Yeah, it does actually, because Eddie talked about this about a year. Well, no, probably a little before the new year, and the fact that millennials are bidding farewell to nightclubs. So I want to talk about that in a bit. I also want to talk about the problem I'm having, and this problem involves the one and only Donald Trump. And then, of course, we'll talk about a few shows we have coming up. But before that, as we are still almost a week later, still recovering from the Michael Graves show, George, speaking of standing right up front, and I'm probably way too old to be doing this, that whole night I pretty much found a nice spot in front of the stage. So I was there for the show. Obviously, I wasn't in front of the stage for our set because that wouldn't have worked out too well. But
you were even closer than the front of the
right,
stage.
yeah. I was right up front and for the whole show last Sunday night, which I haven't done in years just because physically I can't, and then, hearing and all that. But
Yeah, you know what? Now I consider that a challenge. I'm going to have to do that next time.
And I got to say, Michael Graves, a guy who put 110% into his performance, just a high energy, the whole show, loud, just like a rock show is supposed to be. That's what we were treated to.
That's another thing with this loudness. No, we're speaking of people that don't like getting blood on them. What the hell is it with if the show goes above 20 decibels?
Right.
Like everybody's in the back of the room.
Yeah.
Now, am I mixing up my millennials and my oldsters? Or
No, the millennials.
I thought this is the same people that crank up the
earbuds and the headphones.
earbuds.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for.
The millennials are staring at their cell phone the whole time, and the oldsters are like me, physically having to lean against the wall to survive being at the show.
Right, but the young folks, they crank up the earbuds.
Right.
Why do they have a problem with listening to live music without the earbuds up close?
Well, it's because they don't have something stuck in their ears while they're listening.
Yeah.
And it's usually something really crappy where you don't want it publicly
Yeah.
broadcast while they're using the earbuds. But
So they're doing us a favor by keeping those earbuds stuffed in there.
Well, yes.
and I just wanted to bring out a little sound engineering fact. The closer you are to the stage, you're actually getting better sound quality, less distortion, and usually
Less decibels.
less decibels.
Yeah.
Because they want those speakers aimed dead center of the room. So
Right.
the further you move back, the louder it's going to get. So you're actually doing yourself a favor by getting up close.
No, that's why. When I explained to my girlfriend, because she was, you play, like what's going to happen? What about your hearing and stuff like that? Do you wear earplugs when you play?
And then he said, "What?"
And then I went on to explain, though, that no, the least noise is on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, we have those monitors for a reason. We literally can't hear the music
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's how much the sound passes us by on the way out there.
Oh, yeah.
So, in tribute to Mr. Graves, we're going to hear two from him up next, both off of Night of Sam Hain. This is, I would say, probably my favorite cut off of Night of Sam Hain, going into a double shot of Michael Graves with Shadows right here on The Tony Jones Show.
Shadows crawling somber midnight underneath the lonely streetlights, hidden in the dark. We stay at night. Eyes were glowing in our craving, dreaming of the feast of daylight, and for the light to guide us right. Cold moon and the stars watch us from above, guiding all the time. Buried deep in our coffins, nameless graves leave us forgotten. Yet one day we shall be revealed. Searching for the lies behind us, reaching for that silver lining, wondering we always will be. Cold moon and the stars watch us from above, guarding all the time, all the and the stars watch us from above. Cold moon and the stars watch us from above, guarding all the time, all the in damp ground lie the dead and hope is gone. Rise up and throw off your bloody crowns of thorns. He's left us to devour, and in this solemn hour I'm calling out for a riot. Dead men rise. I stare in the distance and see people burning their fires. They'll all burn in hell, no matter how hard they try. I raise you from the ground, and in this solemn hour, I'm calling out for a riot. Dead men rise.
coming out of a double shot of some Michael Graves right here on the Tony Jones Show off of Night of Sam Hain. Rebellion of the Dead, the name of that one. Before that, last time we chatted, I brought you Into Some Shadows. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Of course, be sure to go to TonyJones.org and RIFreeRadio.org. George Garner is here. Before we went down to Michael Graves, we were talking a little bit about the fact that millennials are turning away from nightclubs. Millennials go to nightclubs mostly now for special occasions. And DJ Psycho Eddie had talked about this on his show, and I kind of put it in the back of my head. And I was thinking about it twice this week because, well, first I went to a show earlier this week, and I'm not going to mention it because it reflects poorly on the promoter, even though it's not the promoter's fault. But I was pretty much the only paying customer there. There were other folks there, band girlfriends and the other bands watching the bands play.
But it was a matter of day of the week situation.
But yep. And so I was pretty much the only paying customer there, which is very disheartening on several levels. But also when we played the Michael Graves show, which was a packed house, I took a look around during our set, and I could see, all the way to the back, the place was filled up. It was full up, as they say here in Rhode Island. And a quick scan of the faces, I realized there was probably not anybody in there, except for maybe a few people, probably under the age of 30, 35. Now,
funny thing, I looked up, I noticed the same thing.
That might be because of, Michael Graves' popularity and the generation that he was with the Misfits and all that. But yeah, there weren't any young folks out in a full club, which, again, is also very disheartening.
Well, no, like I said, I think in that individual situation, it was more of a Michael Graves audience.
Yeah.
And we're not spring chickens.
That's for sure.
I think, no, let's not overemphasize that now. No, but then let's see, Skeleton Beats were the only really millennial band there.
Yeah.
If you could, and they were borderline. So it doesn't surprise me that our audience at Michael Graves' show was 30. But no, you're right though. There's been other shows where it's less excusable, so it's something we have to worry about.
Now, millennials say it's slow bar service, rude staff, high priced drinks, and poor male to female ratio. Which, all right, if it's even at our age, if it's a sausage party, not so much. The people are, especially the way the economy is going, people are more sensitive to the drink prices. I think like some of the hard sodas right now are $5, $5.50.
That's probably that might be even one of the biggest issues.
Yeah.
Because I know myself, none of us in this room are broke, but we don't have an unlimited entertainment budget anymore.
And I'm cheap.
No.
I mean, if a drink is more than like $2, I'm like, good Lord, that's a lot of money.
Well, if it's going to the entertainment,
right,
then I'm not cheap. But if I know, being part of the entertainment scene ourselves, we know where the money's going, and we know, as Alfred Hitchcock said when they asked him if he got scared at the movies, he says no, because I know too much of how it's done. But I want my money's worth, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
I'm a common sense concert goer. There's been too many times I've gone to clubs where the club owners, and we've talked about this on other shows, not to rehash it, but there's too many club owners that don't know how to run their establishments.
Or they just don't care.
I think more fall into that latter category.
Yeah.
When you go to Firehouse 13, if you get there early enough, the owner, Psycho, is literally scrubbing the toilets before the show starts. He actually cares about what he's doing down there. Some places, not so much.
Right. But my point is, though, that you want to leave a night of whatever kind of entertainment it is, feeling that you got a good value for your money.
Yeah.
You might not think of it in those terms, but when you leave a club, you leave a casino, no matter where you leave, you want to be in a good mood.
Yeah.
It's like I had a good time, and that's what that translates to, value for the money.
Yeah.
And it's too many clubs and too many nights late. It doesn't happen. I think that might be part of the problem too. Never mind the millennials.
So, two things. I am going to be heading to Orlando in a few weeks, and part of that is a problem I'm having. We'll talk about that in a bit. And we got some shows to talk about. But before that, George, one of our favorite not-to-be-forgotten bands up next here on the Tony Jones Show. We're going to hear from the Midnight Creeps. Just Can't Get It Right.
Never to be forgotten.
Grammy-nominated Courtney Barnett right here on the Tony Jones Show. Nobody really cares if you go to the party, the name of that one. Then before that, we heard some Midnight Creeps, Just Can't Get It Right. Tony Jones here, George Garner is here, DJ Psycho Eddie is here, all in studio with me as we blaze you through this week's episode of the Tony Jones Show. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. On Twitter at Tony Jones NRI. Of course, be sure to go to TonyJones.org. Yes, this week, and we don't talk too much politics here on the Tony Jones Show. George, I learned long ago that people want their rock and roll and their politics separated.
Unless you're Donald Trump.
For whatever
then
reason.
it's a laugh riot.
So that's pretty much what happened this past week. Donald Trump is going to be the nominee. It's looking more and more like Hillary Clinton. Now, in full disclosure, I am the state director for Gary Johnson, who is going to be, he is the presumptive Libertarian Party nominee for president.
Right.
Over Memorial Day, I'll be down in Orlando, Florida for the Libertarian National Convention, and we'll hash it out there. It's a very unique situation with the Libertarians because every delegate is uncommitted, so you're considered to be uncommitted until the convention, until it's time for the vote. And then they do our instant runoff voting. So everybody votes for whoever they want. Right. Anybody who doesn't have 50% or more is eliminated.
Right, you just keep going through,
the
process until you arrive at somebody.
And the same thing is true for vice president. So actually the vice presidential nominee is elected in that manner and separate from the president. So pretty much president and vice president are straight up until the time the convention happens.
So you could have a president and vice president at odds with each other.
You could have a president and a vice president who hate each other. You could have someone who decides that day to get into the contest too,
right.
And if they can whip up enough votes,
they're in.
It's on. So I think it was Tuesday that it was pretty much decided that Mr. Trump would be the Republican nominee, and for the first time ever, I am having a problem keeping up with the amount of inquiries that have come for people looking for information on Gary Johnson. That started Tuesday, and I'm still getting caught up on emails.
And that's a good thing, because ostensibly I'm a Trump supporter, but it's kind of for lack of an alternative and my own love of the absurd. I mean, really, if you were to ask me, what do I think of this? I could give you, which level do you want to approach this? On an existential, comedy level, on a tragedy,
right?
On a decline of civilization. I mean, I honestly don't know what to make of it. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Tony before the show. I says I want more information on this Gary Johnson, because as much as I will get a kick out of seeing Donald Trump be elected president, it still leaves me disquieted. It really does. It's terrifying. Kind of like. This is probably more for the Haunted Cabaret, but if anybody saw that old Stephen King movie, The Dead Zone, remember that politician that was running for office that was going to stop the nuclear war, and the psychic saw the future and had to decide whether to assassinate him? Well, I'll tell you, watch that. Anybody that's deciding who to vote for in this election, watch that movie Dead Zone again. Pay close attention to Gary Stilson, the politician in that movie, and then you take another look at Donald Trump and Ted Cruz and that whole crew.
And Republicans have a long history of sucking it up, holding their nose, and voting for whoever the nominee is, no matter how bad that nominee is. And you're having major figures in the Republican Party that just will not support Trump. We could be seeing the dying on the vine of a major party. It was a very unique position in history.
That's possible. The other alternative, though, is that our own Mark Patinkin, the local newspaper columnist, did a little, ad-lib survey of the Trump rally when he showed up here in Rhode Island. And apparently most of those fanatics at the Trump rally aren't conservatives. Right. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Most of those enthusiasts at the Trump rally were moderates.
Yeah.
In other words, who didn't like the idea of the Republican conservatives. They didn't want Hillary Clinton. In other words, they're voting for Trump not because he's supposedly conservative, but because he's a moderate.
Right.
So throw that in the pot and stir it.
And, it's interesting, too, as a long-suffering, independent, third-party guy, I will be the first to admit that there are a lot of wingnuts. There's a lot of guys out there, with teapots on their heads and, tinfoil hats in the independent and third-party movements.
Which is why I've had trouble, taking it seriously up until this point.
And this is a very unique situation where Gary Johnson is legitimately the most qualified candidate as a two-term governor.
Right, and maybe give kudos to Donald Trump for making those teapots on the head people look a little more mainstream.
Yeah. No, they're not looking too bad right now. Well, we could be heading into some dark times for our country, so up next we're going to hear from the Misfits, Daughter of Darkness, right here on The Tony Jones Show.
I can remember a woman. Warm were her kisses, and tender was she, lying there in my arms. Why did you deceive me so? What devil inside made you go when I needed you most? Oh, daughter of darkness, stay out of my life. You took my heart, then you broke it apart. Ooh, you daughter of darkness, daughter of darkness, leave me alone forever. Daughter of darkness, God is the love that we share together. Heaven, we had our own kind of heaven, sharing together the magic of love in a world of our own. Pain, oh, so suddenly you were gone. That love I depended upon disappeared when you went away. Daughter of darkness, stay out of my life. You took my heart, then you broke it apart. Ooh, daughter of darkness, daughter of darkness, please leave me alone forever. Daughter of darkness, God is the love that we share together. Daughter of darkness, stay out of my life. You took my heart, then you broke it apart. Daughter of darkness, you devil, leave me alone forever. Daughter of darkness, God is the love that we share together. Daughter of darkness, daughter of darkness, daughter of darkness. Back in the day, it was made known, let he without sin be the one that cast the first stone. Now you can judge me based on what you see. It may make you feel better, but it don't make you better than me. The only way to achieve true wealth is through mental, physical, and spiritual health. The only true way to love oneself is through mental, physical, and spiritual health. Can't spend our lives on a wheel of fortune while it's spinning all we see. It's a long dollar sign, hearts will grow inside. Something better, I believe. Now listen. You can work hard, work your fingers to the bone. But what good is the money when there's no one there to spend it on? And you can push, be at the top of your game. But what
Some vulgarity right here on the Tony Jones Show. No, the vulgarity was not the fact that Donald Trump could be president. Vulgarity was the name of that band.
That has only inspired a lot of vulgarity.
Before that, we heard from our old pals, the Misfits, off of the remixed Project 1950, Daughter of Darkness. Tony Jones here on the Tony Jones Show. George Garner is here. DJ Psycho Eddie is here. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, and on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Some breaking news here, and I'm hoping that this is a rumor, just a nasty, nasty rumor. But the rumor, and possibly truth, is that Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne are calling it quits after 34 years of marriage. It's reported that Sharon has moved out of the mansion, and my prediction is that if this is true, Ozzy will in fact be dead by the end of the year.
Actually, the truth is that probably Ozzy is dead. And Sharon has just noticed it, or recently chosen. Well, you know what? If Black Sabbath have they finished their farewell
They're on tour, currently on tour, yeah. So
okay, because I was going to say if Black Sabbath had finished their farewell tour, then that might have been the time for Sharon to acknowledge that Ozzy is in fact dead.
And collected the gate receipts.
And
then dumped them.
Right, kind of like Norman Bates' stuffed mother in the basement. Just
actually, I was thinking more of Weekend at Bernie's, only Weekend at Ozzy's.
Right, same concept. Right, animating a corpse artificially until you milked it of its last dime.
Exactly.
Right. I gotta say too, man, that's gonna be brutal to be out on tour and get word that your wife has moved out and filed for divorce.
Oh, actually,
I'm hoping it's not true.
No, it's probably not actually, or it's a spat, as they say in the marriage industry.
It's coming in through some pretty reputable news sites, but I'm hoping it's not true. 34-year marriage, pretty much. If you believe the folklore of heavy metal, she pretty much saved Ozzy Osbourne. So.
Right, saved his life when he left Black Sabbath. He was a drunk and everything.
When he was down and destitute.
I actually believe at some point there have been a couple attempts on her life by him.
Yeah, after she admitted that she was doing Randy Rhoads.
That was probably one of them, yeah. Although it didn't stop Ozzy from letting him be his guitar player. I mean, business first.
He's that good.
Yeah, he's that good, yeah. I'll let him bang my wife a bit. His playing's still spot on.
Well, we're running low on time, so I'm going to head right back down to the music. This is, George, one of my favorite bands, one of your favorite bands. They're called Electric Frankenstein.
Good band.
And their CD has been pretty much on repeat in my car, which, of course, one of the best things about having your own show is that you get to play what you love. And we're going to hear two from Electric Frankenstein, starting off with a situation we've all been in. Everybody in this room has been hammered at one point or another. That's the name of this one from Electric Frankenstein.
Spend my years with a ball and chain and one foot in the grave. Useless misery. You got me in a hostage situation. Feels like I'm in Hell's Kitchen. You got me in a hostage situation. Feels like I'm in Hell's Kitchen. You got me in a hostage situation. Feels like I'm in Hell's Kitchen. You got me in a hostage situation. Feels like I'm in
Hostage Situation, the name of that one. One of my favorite bands you just heard from Electric Frankenstein right here on the Tony Jones Show. The second part of a double shot from Electric Frankenstein. Before that, you heard Hammered. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. On the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Of course, be sure to go to TonyJones.org and RIFreeRadio.org for all your webutainment needs. We're just about out of here, if you can believe it. Another one of those weeks where it feels like we just sat down behind these
Twilight Zone time.
glorious microphones. Pretty full dance card around here. That was the stupidest thing. Dance card. I'm not going to say that anymore. That's just dumb.
No, that
Yeah.
bypasses generations.
Strike that from the record. Pretty full schedule around here. Coming up on June 21st, we have not June 21st, May 21st.
21st.
We have the pleasure of opening up the Joe Moody Memorial Show. Yes, folks, get up early. We're playing at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and this show is going to go on until closing time. It's probably going to be 2 in the afternoon to 2 a.m.
Yeah, the lineup is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's it's a real honor for us to be on the show. Of course, long suffering supporters of Joe Moody. It was kind of one of those shows where you had to be asked to play. It wasn't just we'll put anybody on the bill.
Really,
So
we didn't put in our 2 cents.
it was
That is an honor.
yeah. And then the next day we'll be up at Worcester for the car show kickoff, the new season of the car shows. And then on June 2nd, we are going to be hosting a small business networking night here, not too far from the studio at the Greenwich Cove Meadery. I've really, since I have transitioned over to being a self-employed small businessman, I've seen more of a need for these type of organizations
More of a
and
need.
events in
more
this
of,
area.
More of a need for mead. There's a slogan.
That is we're going to copyright that, Need for Mead, June 2nd. I can't believe, I'm going to networking nights in Providence. I'm going to networking nights in South County, making great connections, meeting great people. And then you have our area, and there's just a big black dot. It's like the area which should not be named.
kind of a ground zero where no bomb fell.
So we're gonna change that. Kind of our motto has always been, if there's no seat at the table, you got to go out and make your own table. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be more of a laid back type thing. There's not going to be any sleazy hard sells. It's going to be just kind
Socializing.
of socializing. Bunch of local business folks doing their thing, drinking mead, and the best of all, as the local cheapskate, it's no charge, no cover. Just show up, maybe have a drink or two. And on that note, we got to get out of here. George, thank you as always.
You're welcome as always.
Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. Tony Jones in RI on Twitter. TonyJones.org and RIFreeRadio.org. We're going to leave you now with a little Satellites Fall here on the Tony Jones Show. One night. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Saturday, just gone out for a run. Friday and Saturday, you're always getting drunk. And Sunday, you stay at home and never thought of church.
All right, welcome, my night outers. DJ Psycho Eddie here. Welcome to another night of My Night Out Radio. In studio with me tonight, we have George Gorner. I'm going to have to start calling you my occasional co-host like Tony does because...
No, Tony has copyrighted that phrase.
Oh, okay. My sometimes part-time co-host.
Sometime my part-time, full-time, part-time.
We'll have the
We'll think it over, yeah.
Lawyers will hammer out the details. Also, we do have Tony Jones on the soundboard making us sound oh so good.
Now I hedged my programming this week because I actually showed up to the show today already hungry because we're doing the show live at Sunday. There's a Sunday gravy that's at my house that'll be ready for me when I get home. That's been going since about 9 o'clock this morning. But the smell of the Sunday gravy, I'm starving. I'm freaking starving.
Well, see, now you just get the reap the benefits of a woman who knows how to cook.
Right.
I tell you, that was one of
You
the
know-
best decisions you have ever made. Is,
Sometimes it's tough finding a woman that's willing to cook.
yes, yeah. Now I'm engaged to a woman who insists that I'm going to share in the cooking.
Sometimes that's good. Sometimes not so much.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to cook. You better help.
Well, if you want to eat, yeah.
Right.
Sounds like you'll be going out to a lot of restaurants, which makes you the perfect co-host for My Night Out Radio.
Well, yes, it would. Except she's already mentioned that she wants us to tighten the old budget.
Looks like you have a lot of McDonald's in your future.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of those. Burger King every week keeps sending out those coupons. You know, like-
Beautiful.
yeah,
Eating at the King's with,
yeah, with that big scary Burger King head.
well, it's okay. You can live vicariously through me because
I already do. I salivate every time I sit here at this.
and that's just because I'm so damn sexy. But I'll digress. I put my body in harm's way. I was going to use the term self-abuse, but that has a whole different connotation.
Yeah, you guys grew up Catholic. That means something completely different.
But I have tortured myself for this show yet again. I stopped by several local eateries and brew pubs. We'll be talking about that in just a little while. I just wanted to, get started off on just the right foot, just so you know at the level we're working at today. This morning, for those of you who are listening live, it's Mother's Day. If you're listening to the podcast, we're recording on Mother's Day because I went to visit my mom last night. Mm-hmm. So as I'm tooling around, I have my wife in the car. We're going through North Kingston, and we noticed some stores that are open that aren't usually open on Sundays, number one, and number two, why the hell are they open on Mother's Day? All your Mother's Day shopping needs, the Amazing Superstore was open.
Good God.
I
So-
don't even want to. Oh my goodness!
Does that create future Mother's Day?
Let's just look at it that way.
I don't know.
Young mothers.
All I know is there was at some point some business decision to say maybe it's a good idea on Mother's Day to have the availability of marital aids. And I don't know where you can go with that.
Yeah,
Now-
you too can be a mother.
Well, this is true.
Now, I'm kind of constantly on the go, so I almost like work out of my car a little bit. And I had some business at the print shop, which is next to the Amazing Superstore, the one you're talking about. And so I went through there. I did what I had to do, and then I was returning some emails. So I was sitting in my car in front of the print shop for about 15, 20 minutes, and I realized, for the past half hour, I've been parked out in front of the Amazing Superstore on one of the busiest roads in North Kingstown.
Obviously, trying to get up the courage to go in.
I can't, like I said, I can't go any further with this because I know where my mind's going.
I
And
believe the parking is in the rear.
yep, you went there. Okay. Why don't we go to a break so I can maintain composure a little bit? We're going to leave here with a song you've heard before. A great bunch of guys. One of the messiest stage shows I've seen in a while. The Frenzy of Tongs. The name of the song is Doctor Who. We'll be back in a minute.
I will teach you the folly of your words. I will destroy you and demonstrate the power of the Dalek. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy.
Usually got a sidekick, most of them are pretty girls. Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
All right, that was Adieu, Forget City. Before that was Frenzy of Tongues. The name of that song was Doctor Who. Once again, like I said, I put myself in harm's way every week for your entertainment and your pleasure by going to all these different restaurants and eating ungodly amounts of good food and telling you about it.
Culinary threat.
Culinary threat. Okay, we'll go with that. Well, we're going to start off Friday. Friday, I hit Fat Bellies. Fat Bellies, they have several locations. I was at the one in Quonset Point at the North Kingston Golf Course. I'm pretty good friends with the bartender over there, pretty much because she sees me quite a bit during the week. But she makes an awesome Bloody Mary. I don't know why right now Bloody Marys seem to be the drink that I gravitate towards. She makes an especially good one. She goes out of the way. She puts the fresh horseradish, the Tabasco. It's got a good heat to it. And what goes better with Bloody Marys, aside from everything? Calamari. The Rhode Island state appetizer, state food. We'll go with that. This one had the garlic butter banana peppers, and they tossed it and a little marinara on the side.
You had to go hit a direct hit right at the beginning of this show, didn't you?
It's going to get a lot worse. Now, aside from the Bloody Marys, they had a couple of beers there.
No, it wasn't the Bloody Marys. It was the calamari.
Well, you may or may not have already known this, but I am an absolute egg slut when it comes to breakfast foods. I am constantly going out for breakfast. That's the meal I gravitate towards when I do go out.
Okay.
I went to Doherty's Lakeside, which is a mile and a half down the road from us here. Luckily, it was a little bit later. I had a late start to the day, so it was about noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon when I got there. Fortunately, they still had their brunch menu. I had what they call on the menu the Smokey and the Bandit, which is Eggs Benedict, but instead of the Canadian bacon or ham or whatever you want to call it, they put coffee-rubbed brisket.
Damn.
Smoked brisket. That's right. And I again, several beers. One beer I really have to tell you about because it hit a lot of notes that you don't normally get with beer, one of which is sweet.
Okay.
This is a fruit-flavored beer. It's Frambrose. I'm probably screwing it up. It's by Lambert Brewery. Frambrose, Frambroise. It tastes like you're drinking Chambord, a raspberry liqueur. It has a finish like you're eating sweet tarts. It's really good when you start off. Now, mind you, it's a little uncomfortable. You're getting a beer with a nice head on it, and the head is pink.
We're listening. We're waiting.
But it's a very good beer if you're only going to have one. Because, by the time I got to the bottom, the sweetness was just way too overpowering. Thankfully, I had the brisket to cut through the flavor of the raspberry. Right. Otherwise, it would have been
sickening sweet.
Exactly. Now, after that, of course, last night I visited my mom for Mother's Day because I knew I was going to be here, and my mom cooked, I cooked. I've got 3 sisters and a brother, so everyone cooked. We stuffed ourselves. I'll spare you that one. Needless to say, I will tell you one thing: I make a kick-ass pulled pork. If you want the recipe, hit me up, email, whatever. I'll give you the recipe. Lastly, today I took my wife out. We have the 2 fur babies. We got the 2 dogs, and took her out for Mother's Day. We ended up at Chen's down in Wakefield. Mm-hmm. Toy Sun Chicken, which is kind of like chicken fingers, only it's not that big, fluffy, puffy breading on it. It's actually a very light breading.
Kind of like when you get the alternate fish and chips. Like it's a light, very light coating.
Yeah. Well, we got that as an appetizer, but then we ordered. You just go not off menu, but things that you never think of doing. Mm-hmm. We got the Warsaw duck, which was out of this world. It is a huge, I want to say almost a 1.5 pound duck breast with the vegetables over it. And then we got the mushi pork. which I believe everyone knows what mushi is. It's all the different vegetables with the pork.
Right.
They give you the pancakes and the hoisin sauce, and yeah. So those were my three major hits for this week. I finally went slumming for the first time, and I want to say at least 6 to 8 months. I hit a chain restaurant. This morning for breakfast, we were starving. I went to Mickey D's.
Oh.
I was
Goal.
regretting that all. Yeah, I regretted that all the way until the second bathroom stop. Yeah, I don't know what it is. They must season their food with X-Lax because it just blew me up.
Actually, it is a good thing to eat to clean out the old system. you know?
Oh, it's clean. If it was any cleaner, it would whistle.
There's a marketing hook. Come here before your next colonoscopy.
Well, you could drink the gallon of orange juice, or you can drink or eat the Big Mac.
Have a double cheese.
Which brings me to that movie I watched over the weekend. Every now and then you just gotta go into the old movies. I watched the movie Super Size Me,
Okay.
and then went to McDonald's to eat, not the other way around.
Now, there's a companion movie to that called Super High Me, where it's the same, general flow to the movie, except instead of McDonald's every day, the guy smokes weed every day.
Well, actually, it was a 2-month session, we'll call it. The first month, he would not smoke. Now, he's a stand-up comic. He remembered all of his skits and all his lines and how things were supposed to flow, but his creativity was down.
Right.
And then the second month, he smoked an inordinate amount of weed.
Right.
His delivery was not as good, but yet his creativity level was through the roof. So something to think about when next time you're either partaking or you're going to poo-poo someone who is partaking.
Yeah, you have to wonder, though, how much of that is psychological.
Oh,
and
exactly.
how much of that is, I think therefore it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But as far as, I remember that Super Size Me movie when it first came out.
Yeah.
And it hit like a bombshell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, if you eat at McDonald's every day, every meal for how long was it?
A month.
A month. Then you are going to get sick.
You literally turn into a piece of veal.
Right. And I said to myself, who doesn't know that? I mean, if you eat and drink anything 3 meals a day for a month, it's not necessarily good.
Well, everything in moderation, including
Right.
moderation.
Right,
But,
exactly.
No, the basis of the movie, it is firm science, but it's let's investigate how you freeze water. You know what
Right.
the outcome's going to be.
Exactly.
And actually, in the movie, he did not make the full 30 days. He had
They
to stop.
brought him to the hospital long
he-
before then. Huh?
He was like, he thought he was having a heart attack or some major malfunction was going on like day 27. So he didn't make the full 30 days, which is something.
And was he?
I know he was pretty screwed up, and it took him about 3 months to drop the weight back to where he was when he started, and it took him another 3 months after that till all of his blood levels and blood composition was back to where it was before he started this. And he actually went full vegetarian, if not vegan, because that's what his wife is. His wife is a vegan chef.
Which probably shocked his system again.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But, well, that's enough talking about the food, because I could see the lust in your eyes from here.
Not for the McDonald's every day for a month, though.
But the Eggs Benedict with the coffee brisket
And
is
the
my
cal-
pick of the week. The calamari.
Calamari.
Yeah, well, I'm actually not partial to seafood, if you could believe that. I eat seafood quite a bit, but I'm not. That's not my go-to. It's always beef.
Right. Well, the thing with calamari is that it has to be cooked exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the easiest foods to just screw up.
Well, when you're cooking calamari, you either have to flash fry it, cook it really quick, and it's done, or you have to cook it for an extended period of time, because that middle period, it turns into like a rubber band.
Exactly.
So you got to give it time to soften up again, or you flash it quickly where you just barely cook it enough where it's not hard yet.
Right.
So something to think about if you're going to cook calamari.
The same thing with duck. I had duck once, and it was absolutely delicious. But the first time I had duck was at a Chinese buffet,
Well-
let's just say not so delicious.
Well, the thing with the Chinese buffet is you end up on that slippery slope of gourmet delicacy there. Because I don't know, I've eaten duck at Chinese restaurants where it's nothing but I think the feet. I'm not sure if I've ever had duck breast at a Chinese buffet.
At a buffet, no.
I might have had it at a couple of the more upscale Chinese restaurants, but even there, I'll tell you, if you order a half side of duck,
Yep.
Okay, you get the breast, you get half a breast, but you also get bones, gristle, and like I say, I don't think I've ever had a completely edible side of duck at a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, I have. Not only just today. I mean, I've gone out on cruises, and one night they'll have breast of duck, and it is absolutely amazing. And then once in a while, I've had it locally where you knew this thing just came out of the swamp because that's exactly what it tasted
Right,
like.
it may or may not be a duck,
Well, yeah, duck, goose,
seagull.
yeah, pigeon. But hey, at that, we'll digress. We'll go back to some music. Couple of bands that I've worked with quite a bit. Local bands. The first one we're going to play for you, we're going to lead out of here with Apollo's Resurrection. The name of the song is Eulogy of Society. We'll be back in a minute.
day, never into time. That's what I tell you. That's what I tell you.
All right, my night outers, that was All for Blood. The name of that song, Anthem. Before that, we heard Apollo's Resurrection, Eulogy of Society. Now, while I was at Doherty's, enjoying my my brunch, I think it was Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, across the bar from me, there were two guys sitting there. Now, they had the full beer menu with all 100 and however many beers listed, and they would drink a few, have a couple of samples, and they were like making little check marks and taking notes on what they were drinking. And I curiosity got the best of me because then again, I could talk to just about anybody.
Right.
I asked them, are you writing a book or what are you doing? Why are you taking all these notes?
Sounds like reviewers.
Yeah, exactly. And it turns out they were just home brewers that were taking notes, seeing what they wanted to do in upcoming batches and upcoming brews that they were going to make.
Right. In other words, theft of flavor.
Exactly. Like I could overhear the conversation because we were close enough. It was quiet enough. And they were talking about, well, it tastes like this type of hops. I like this flavor. I like this body. This one's kind of high in alcohol, but we could go higher. Typical home brewers. Let's push the envelope. And it was just great to see that, they're trying to do something at home and try, they're trying to improve the quality, which is something I always strive for, try to, take that next step.
Right.
Mimicry and imitation is the best form of flattery. So all these different microbrews and whatever, you take something from them each time you try one. So every time you try a microbrew, think of what you would do differently.
Right.
So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know they're going to be listening because they asked me, a couple of times how to get a hold of this radio show and station, and I had to throw that out to them. I also wanted to bring up June 2nd. June 2nd is going to be the networking night in the West Warwick, Coventry area.
As a very wise man once said, there's a need for mead.
It's going to be at the Greenwich Cove Meadery, yes. So supporting local businesses with other local businesses. And I was talking to a few people. They were asking me about it because I post everything up on Facebook and what have you. And I'll get messages from time to time. And the biggest question is, well, what kind of businesses are you looking for? Anybody. If you own a business, if you're part of a business and you want to promote it, or you just want to make connections with other businesses, like, if you're a plumber, everybody who has any type of plumbing in a building will someday need a plumber.
Anybody who eats as much as we do here on this show is going to need a plumber.
If you're a landscaper, some businesses need landscaping done. Or in case of just in this room, real estate. If you're doing real estate, you're trying to sell a house. The house has been unoccupied for a while. They're going to need a landscaper to clean it up. If you wash windows for a living, if you're whatever. So what I'm saying is, I don't care what you do, as long as either you're part of a business or you own it, please come down. You'll definitely be able to meet myself, Mr. Jones, see put the face to the voice that you're listening to. I know I have a few people coming down that actually aren't even business owners, but they want to network to try to see, they want to start a business. So talk to people in the area, see what the business atmosphere is like.
Spoiler, not so hot. But we're trying.
We need these get-togethers. They are there for a reason.
Well, if you're getting the network night going, as Tony has pointed out several times, there isn't a chamber of commerce in this area. They have it in Providence. They have it in South County.
They have it everywhere else.
Right. Yes. So the succulous, vacuous hole that is this area, business-wise, has no chamber of commerce. Maybe you get a couple businesses together and, I don't know, petition the town, city, village, area.
Good question. How do you
how does
okay,
one
there is
get
a
yeah,
Chamber of Commerce?
yeah,
asked-
where do they come from?
Right. I asked myself that exact same question, and I'm thinking about doing some research.
So we're going to have the Tony Jones Chamber of Commerce?
Which, by the way, and it's, I belong to the, and this isn't a knock on anyone, but I live in North Kingstown. North Kingstown has a Chamber of Commerce. I actually belong to the South County Chamber of Commerce because I wasn't overly enthusiastic about what the North Kingstown Chamber of Commerce had to offer. So there are some options out there, great options throughout the state, but there's nothing here.
Right.
And that's the reason why we need these networking nights. So, before I start kicking a dead horse, because, well, I actually want to hear the music tonight. I don't know about you guys, but it's been a long weekend.
Yeah, besides, dead horses don't like to be kicked.
Well, dead horses don't like to be kicked. Dead girls don't like to say no. That, by the way, that's a band, if you guys don't know the reference. We're going to leave here. Actually, we're going to take a break. We're going to leave here with a little bit of Pistol Shot Gypsy. By the way, if you want to be part of the show, you want to hit me up on Facebook /My Night Out. If you want to check us out, you want to get some information from us, My Night Out Radio at Verizon.net. My Night Out RI, that's the website, My Night RI, MyNightOutRI.com for all your upcoming events. Also, you can hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at either DJ Psycho Eddie or My Night Out RI. Definitely hit us up. We'll get you all the information. Here's some Pistol Shot Gypsy. Name of the song, Troy City Blues. We'll be back in a minute. right, my night hours. That was Tri-City Blues by Pistol Shot Gypsy. Thanks for tuning in once again, ladies and gentlemen. I can't thank you enough. We just talked about the networking night. Unfortunately, I made a reference to the band Dead Girls Don't Say No. Unfortunately, I really can't play any of their music on the air. So
Probably
that's
have them
why.
in studio, though.
Well, we could have them in the studio. Hopefully, they can do a rendition or two of their songs that I can play, so that way I can let you guys listen to them and see how good they actually are. But in other news, there was a autism benefit this past weekend, and friends of ours from Roadkill, one of which is Josh McLaughlin, who is the guitarist also for Dead Girls Don't Say No. Now, these guys are in kind of a pickle because they are at an autism benefit singing a song called Green Card. However, someone who perpetually wants to be insulted, offended, or what have you, twisted that and thought they were saying retard.
Which makes no sense.
Well, at an autism benefit, using
No, I mean
that
in-
word would be
No, I
a
mean
full pas.
in the music.
Yeah, well,
That's what people don't listen closely.
they don't listen closely, and they're looking for a reason to be offended.
Right.
I don't care. I know Tony's gotten himself into a jam once or twice, and even I have.
And just by having a cold and by a Rhode Island accent.
I had
Exactly.
I had a stuffy nose, and I was trying to promote the upcoming rock hunt, and it sounded like something else, and I almost got released from a station.
Well, I was talking at one of the festivals that I've done, and I was 15 feet above the floor in a perch, and I was talking about the people who were below me. Needless to say, yes, they were 15 feet below my feet were other people. And as I was talking, of course, I get a little excited. I start talking quickly.
Yeah.
Things happen. You're drinking, and well, if you look just below me, and what do you know? I got a talking.
And
to.
Eddie slept on the couch that night.
But did you get any positive results?
No. Unfortunately, I was dressed as the clown that night, and no one actually comes near me when I'm dressed.
Clown makeup, no, that's
Yeah.
generally a turnoff.
Anybody below me?
Well, I just had to break that. So, if you were at that benefit and you heard that song and you heard the whole hullabaloo, whoever started that rumor was wrong.
And the most insulting part of that is the fact that Roadkill donated their services to play said benefit.
Well, add into that another guy who is in Roadkill, Jimmy Fig. His son has autism.
Right.
So why would someone whose child is afflicted with this make derogatory remarks about it? And that's just beyond me.
Right.
So why don't we take another break? Because I'm just, like I said, this weekend kicked the crap out of me. Why don't we leave here with some 95 Hyde. The name of the song, Light This Place Up. We'll be back in a minute. All right, that was 95 Hyde. I believe they're the now defunct, or at least they're on a hiatus right now. 95 Hyde, formerly the Jessica Prouty Band, light this place up. Now, this is a local band that I've seen quite a few times, actually. Definitely worth to see if they're back and about. The last thing I wanted to bring up is get to know the people who are frequenting the shows that you're doing. This is going out to all the musicians who listen in. I had the opportunity to meet someone while I was selling tickets to one of the shows that I've just done recently. And turns out the guy is a manager at one of the local markets. Now, you have the lower-end markets like Aldi and Price Right.
Right.
Then you have the one, I think it's called Whole Paycheck. I'm not really sure. where you need to mortgage your leg and your thigh and probably one of your testicles to make a week's worth of groceries in the store. Well, then you have the mid-range. Stop and Shop is actually on the low end of the mid-range because they don't have the gourmet foods that you're looking for. The prep foods, the prepared foods are not as good. We'll just leave it at that.
Right.
But it leaves that little gap in between the low end and the gourmet shops, and that's when Belmont Market, which is the one that I actually went to today. You also have the Dave's Markets and what have you. Anyways, the guy I met was works at Belmont Market. His name is Tom. He's a really nice guy, and when you look at him when he's working, and there's the funny part to the story here, I dropped off the tickets while he was working. He was in a suit, shirt, sweater vest, and a tie. Very mellow, very mild. He didn't exude the persona of someone who would go to a heavy metal show. Right. And then when you see him out and about at these shows, it's night and day. It was a very pleasant surprise because here's a guy he's taking his wife and his kids to a metal show, and I'm thinking, all right, the kids are driving him nuts to go to this show. Right. When it's actually the dad that wants to go and the kids are being dragged along.
There may be hope.
So there's the next generation of metalheads being formed by someone just through networking with different musicians and what have you.
Indoctrinated.
There's something going on there, and I like it. He actually brought the kids over to the DJ booth, which again was 15 feet off the deck, and there were a few people below us. So he comes in every show that he goes to. That I'm there, he gets a picture with me because it's either him, his wife, the kids, friends he's with. It's a really nice guy. So, Tom, I know you're listening. Thanks for supporting local music. And, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for us for tonight. Once again, MyNightOutRI.com for upcoming events, MyNightOutRadio@Verizon.net. If you have questions, comments, songs you want to submit, definitely hit us up also on Facebook /MyNightOut. Thank you once again for listening. We're going to leave here with another band that I picked up out of they're out of New York, actually. He contacted me. I contacted him. I forget which, but it's Korozik. The name of the song is Spellbound. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good night.